LoreWarrior Online, JM6-D3 Jagermech III. Overview. As part of dealing with the domestic nightmare of the Federated Commonwealth's breakup, Archon Prince Victor Steiner Davian has been forced to work overtime to repair his tarnished image as leader of his people and his troops. Returning to his warrior roots, Victor has decided to boost the spirits of his subjects by commissioning updated designs of long-time mainstays of the old Federated Sons military and the AFFC. One of these designs is the Jagermech III. Long a favourite mech of the prince's father, the formidable Hansa Davian, the Jagermech was Prince Victor's first choice for a refit. Calon Industries, manufacturer of the original, quickly went to work. Capabilities. The Jagermech was customarily relegated to support and fire roles, lacking a reputation for any strength in a stand-up slugfest. On Prince Victor's orders, the designers of the Jagermech III hoped to move the new mech to high-visibility frontline roles. To that end, the Jagermech III is far more robust than its predecessor. In place of the dual ultra autocannons, the new version supports twin particle projector cannons and enough heat sinks to compensate for the heat they generate. In place of the older Type 2 autocannons, designers have installed a pair of new Midron Ultra Type 2 autocannons. Calon technicians have also upgraded the fusion reactor to give the mech enough speed to keep up with Innisphere and clan mechs of the same weight class. The final design improvement was upgraded armor protection. The Jagermech III can do immense damage at long range. Its only drawback is a lack of any significant close-range firepower. Early field tests of the new design proved its worth, as pilots commented that the mech's slightly lower centre of gravity aided in manoeuvrability at high speeds. The Jagermech III also appears to blend well with Fedcom heavy lancers in mock simulations against clan and Innisphere opponents. Deployment. With 2 production runs completed, the Jagermech III began to appear in the AFFC units. Commanders have stated that the new design will see widespread use, and the initial models were placed in units bordering the Chaos March. Even more critical than the appearance of the design is the publicity surrounding it. Both the Jagermech III and the Enforcer III are seen as important elements in rehabilitating Archon Prince Victor's image and revitalizing the morale of its nation. Using the latest technology to improve a respected design is seen as a solid move in that direction. Keeping it 65 ton, it has a Calon Type 4 Endo steel chassis. Its power plant is a 325 Vox XL, its cruise speed is 57 and its max speed is 89 kph with no jump jets. Its armour is the Calon Unity Weave Ferrofibrous, and its armament is 2 Midron model DRF light autocannons, 2 Johnston Parter Cannon PPCs, and 2 Intech medium lasers, manufactured by Calon Industries and Independence Weaponry. The primary factory for Talon is Calon, and Quentin for Independence Weaponry. Communication system is a Garrett T12S, and its targeting and tracking is the Garrett T11FC. This translates into a mech that can walk 5 and run 8, with 12 double heatsinks for 24 heat dissipation. Overall, this gives it armour of 9, 26 on the CT, 9 on the head, 26 on the CT, 7 on the rear, 22 on the right and left torso, with 6 on the rear, and 16 on the arms, and 20 on the legs. 2 PPCs are equipped with 1 in each arm, another 2 Ultra 2s, 1 in each arm again, with 45 shots split between them, with the 2 medium lasers, 1 in each side torso. An unusual looking version of the Jagermech, but definitely distinct. It's got some weird issues, I think, again with the sort of scale of some of the weaponry, let's say, but overall not bad. It looks like a more modern version of the older, clunkier Jagermech. I like the shot of it obviously stomping forward and you can see the heat coming out the back, so the art is perfectly fine in my opinion. I'm not saying it's amazing, stands out, makes it a must-have machine, but definitely as far as a visual update of it goes, it looks fine. Definitely more impressive than the standard Jagermech as well. Obviously the biggest downside of this thing is the XL engine. It's probably the thing that's probably going to put fear in quite a lot of people. The ammo being located in the right torso is another worry as well, considering that's a torso that doesn't have a particularly high amount of armour. In fact, that's probably the biggest drawback, so the idea that this thing would be running around on the front lines is also a little worrying as well, because it's not particularly thickly armoured for a 65 tonner. This is definitely something that would be working alongside other more tankier vehicles, I imagine, that would be able to shield it from some of the incoming fire, while it itself can obviously return some pretty solid range fire. Ultra 2s definitely allow it to stay at quite a good range to engage targets, and then as it closes in, it obviously brings the PPCs to bear alongside the Ultra 2s, and eventually, when it gets into the dying elements of a fight, the 2 medium lasers can back up the Ultras, which will probably still be firing at that point in the conflict. Yeah, heat-wise, I mean, what it can just about get away with running and firing both PPCs, which isn't bad with 24 heat dissipation, so yeah, that at least means that each turn it can walk or run and fire 2 PPCs, which, yeah, it's quite nasty. Factor in the Ultra 2s, you could probably walk and fire both Ultra 2s and go tiny little bit overheat. It's manageable overall. So yeah, it's not too bad on the heat dissipation side. Definitely makes it a little bit more of definitely more of a worry for an opponent, because much like an awesome is, you don't want to be hit with PPC fire every single turn. That's a lot of damage to take. So the capability of even causing a pilot skill check every time it gets a shot off on you is also a bit of a worrier. So there's definitely some drawbacks, but big bonuses to it as well. I don't dislike it. It's a pretty solid vehicle, and obviously one that's probably only going to be seen in Federated Suns Lancers for quite a while. The Drax wouldn't use it because they'd view it as a vehicle of their hated enemy. Maybe some of them being on the front lines of probably bits of Lyran space, possibly Lyran Commonwealth space. I don't know if I imagine this thing would probably be sold to some mercenaries, or probably trusted mercenaries, ones that are in the good graces of the Federated Suns, probably. But outside of that, it's it's probably one that you don't see a hell of a lot spread around. Let's put it that way. I doubt you see this thing in like Outworlds Alliance or any of the periphery states, to be fair, especially considering it probably costs a bit to maintain things like Ultra AC2s, considering at this point in the timeline they're probably not that common a piece of tech, so it probably costs a bit just to keep them running. So, yeah, overall not bad. Jagermech 3. So, as always, thanks for listening everybody. Hope you have a good week, and I'll see you all for the next one. Bye bye.